Hey guys, it's Natalia and welcome back to Fashion Design 101. So it's been a while since I've put out an episode of this little series, but today I wanted to show you guys how to put in an invisible zipper because I used to be so afraid of just putting in zippers or closures in general, but now I do zippers all the time. Invisible zippers are literally my favorite and I think they look the cleanest, and for whatever reason they're just super intimidating when you start off. So I'm actually finishing up making a little skirt for myself and I was about to put in the zipper and I was like, you know what, I might as well just show you guys how to do it because that way I can show you how to line up like the waistband as well with the zipper when you're putting it in, because that's like a whole other thing too. But yeah, just a quick little zipper video today, but let's get into it. So here is an invisible zipper and here is a regular zipper. As you can see, this one does not have coils in the front, but this one does. Here is an up close. This one has all the coils up in the front and it is flat on the back, whereas an invisible zipper is flat in the front and has the coils in the back. So that is the difference between an invisible zipper and a regular zipper. So first things first, you're gonna wanna iron out your zipper. This is something that I feel like I learned semi-recently in the past couple of years, and it literally is a lifesaver. It makes things so much easier, makes it look so much cleaner. So as you can see, the coil kind of curls up and you want to press it so that it's down like that. So that is what we're going to be doing. Just pressing it all the way so that it lays flat instead of curls down like that. So as you can see, this side is flattened down and this one is not. So it kind of gives us this nice crease, which is exactly where we're gonna sew. So that's what makes the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten out this side as well. So this is the side seam where I'm going to be putting in the zipper. So if you think about how the zipper would lay, it would be, you know, like this, so that you could zip it all the way up like that. So you want to take that zipper and put it right sides together with the fabric. So it's going to look like it's on the wrong side of it, but obviously it is the right side. And before you pin it where you want it to be, you want to be mindful of where the zipper stop actually ends right here, and if you need extra room up here for any sort of seam allowance or anything like that. I personally line up the zipper stopper to exactly where my waistband's going to end because that's how it works for this particular garment, but sometimes you do need that extra space if you're going to be sewing anything over this and need it to bend over. So just be mindful of where you actually want this to end, and then go ahead and line that up and pin it. So now that we have it pinned, we can go ahead and sew it on the machine. We're gonna be sewing right on that crease that we opened up. It's kind of like that perfect line all the way down to where we can actually get it to. So you're gonna wanna use an invisible zipper foot. It looks like this. It has little spaces here for the coils of the zipper to go through. Makes it really easy to sew it down. So I definitely recommend using one of these, but you can also use a regular zipper foot. It's just a little bit more difficult, but you can use this and line it up as well and just go a little bit more slowly to get it right. But definitely use the invisible zipper foot if you have it. So as you can see, we've put the coil into one of the little grooves right here, and we're gonna go ahead and sew. This foot is gonna allow the coil to stay in place as we sew on that line. And you do wanna make sure that you are sewing as close to that line as possible so that the zipper does turn out invisible. I'm just gonna go ahead and start sewing. And once you reach the end, go ahead and backstitch. Now you can go ahead and zip it up just to make sure nothing gets caught. And as you can see, it's going to be pretty invisible on that side. Obviously this side is still not there, but it lines up perfectly and it's gonna look just like a seam. So the next thing I wanna show you guys is how to line up seams on the other side. So as you can see, this is a waistband right here, and you wanna make sure that the other side of the zipper hits at the same spot so it looks like a very continuous line and it's perfectly lined up. So I like to take some chalk and just mark where that line is. And once I have that marked, I also like to define it a little bit more with a pin. I'll just roughly pin that into place so that I can definitely see where that is. And now I can just go ahead and unzip this. So now on the other side, you want to do the same thing that we did before, where you put the zipper right side together with the fabric. Obviously make sure it's not super twisted down here and it's twisted right where it needs to be. And then go ahead and line up that pin or your marking with the waistband over here. Once you have that marked, you can go ahead and pin that in place. So now that that's pinned, you can go ahead and sew this up. So now when you zip this up, it lines up perfectly, as you can see right there. And the zipper itself does not show on the outside, but rather looks like a seam. So that is what an invisible zipper is supposed to look like. So now to finish up your garment, you're just gonna want to take the rest of that seam and pin it together and sew all the way up to where the zipper starts, or a little bit before that if this gets a little too bulky. And then if there's still a little bit of a gap, you can always hand stitch that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew the rest of the seam up. And an extra little tip, I like to also sew this extra flap of a zipper onto the seam allowance so that it stays in place when you're pulling on it and it doesn't like weirdly come up. So I sew this side to this seam allowance, and I sew this side to this seam allowance, and I just like do a couple back stitches here just to keep it in place. So that is what it looks like. Make sure to only sew the seam allowance, obviously, and not the actual garment itself, but that just helps when this is being pulled for it not to all go up with it. And here is the full seam. As you can tell, it looks seamless. It looks just like a seam, even though the zipper is right here. And now you can finish up your garment however you want, and your zipper is ready to go. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and follow me on social media if you haven't already. My personal Instagram is @natalia.trevino, and my shop Instagram is @NataliaTrevinoMaro. You can also follow me on TikTok @NataliaTrevinoMaro. I post fun stuff on there. And let me know what other sewing things you guys want to see on this channel. I'm trying to get back into the series a little bit more, but want to know what you guys want to see, so let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!